now we're talking about the benefits of CoolSculpting versus actually getting a tummy tuck and or liposuction, okay? What you can do and can't do. And it's a very popular thing right now. You can see the little airplanes that fly over. You can see the banner. It says CoolSculpting frees the fat. Yes, it works. We talked about the studies that they did or what they noticed, the observations that they noticed when kids had popsicles for an extended period of time, their cheeks would actually thin out. Also you can see on horseback riders that were riding in cold areas, their thighs would actually thin. So thin out in the lateral part of the thigh would actually start to shrink. And that happens because of certain cold exposure. So CoolSculpting came along, and they have these applicators that you can put on. The problem is it takes multiple treatments, 4 to 5 treatments, and it's anywhere from $1,000 to $8,000 per treatment. So you can look at anywhere from like $5,000 for a session to up to $40,000, depending on how many areas that you're going to get. So yes, if you're definitely opposed to having surgery, or if you can't have surgery for medical reasons, CoolSculpting might be a good option for you. But again, the results are not as profound as surgical results. All right, when I go in there with a liposuction cannula, I can sculpt an area. I can get every little bit of fat. I can be very precise with where I take the fat from. And then if I need to remove skin, I can do a tummy tuck or excision of skin. You can't do that with CoolSculpting. So as long as your expectations are in line with the potential results, go for it. And but look at that cost benefit, right? And the time you're sitting in that room, and every time you got to commute to that specific place, that's all time and investment, right? So a simple liposuction procedure is one treatment, and cost can be a little bit expensive. There is general anesthesia. Generally, some people do it under local. I prefer not to do it under local because I like to focus on the surgery. My patients just like to take a nap and wake up, and it's very safe. Anesthesia is very safe these days. We have a fully accredited surgery center that's amazing, and our patients do really, really well. We have had zero problems with that. So a lot of people worry about anesthesia, but it's just like, do you worry about getting on a plane? Well, I kind of do sometimes, but it's very safe. Statistically, you're more likely to get in a car accident today on your way to work than you are to have many major problems with anesthesia. Actually, you're more likely to be struck by lightning in your lifetime than to have any major problems with anesthesia. Believe it or not, 1 in 10,000 chance of getting struck by lightning in your lifetime. It's actually kind of high. Think about that one. So that's CoolSculpting, you guys. And again, it was cleared by the FDA in 2010, and then later in 2015 for multiple other areas. But again, results are kind of average, are mediocre and subtle. Okay, so they're great for little problem areas and if you don't want to have surgery. But in my opinion, knowing what the benefits of CoolSculpting are and liposuction and surgical capabilities, hands down, I always recommend surgery. Okay, but everybody has their reasons what they want to do. Do your research on that. Now, the benefits of a tummy tuck are very profound. Okay, tummy tuck removes extra skin that CoolSculpting doesn't. It can remove fat if you combine it with liposuction, and you can actually do application in the middle to tighten up the abdominal muscles, especially after you've had a pregnancy. Okay, so that's really crucial with women who are trying to get their bodies back. Okay, what else can it do? Yeah, it cinches in your waist, flattens out the tummy in the front, helps your strengthen your core. So a tummy tuck cost, okay, is anywhere from $8,000, from like the Midwest, East Coast, certain areas in the South, all the way up to a cost here in Beverly Hills, which is around $30,000 to $35,000. Okay, by myself is my price range. I do spend a lot of time on my tummy tucks. Okay, I made a decision early on in my career that I am going to focus on providing the best results that I can. So I take more time. I spend an hour on the belly button. I keep the incision super low. I close the incision in 4 layers. It takes a lot of time. Okay, it's not just a big, quick debulking surgery that a lot of surgeons do. We don't do that here. I take a lot of time to make sure that it looks very natural. The biggest giveaway that if you had a tummy tuck is your belly button. It can look like a coin slot here. So that's the last thing you want. You want to make sure the belly button looks very natural. I'm anywhere from 30 to 35,000. But let's see, my wife, I think she chimed in here on social media. Where are the girls' goggles for swim? They're in the box here at work. So if you want the goggles for the girls swimming, they're in the box that came from FedEx at the office. Rosalind, thank you. Can you send her a text message?
Yeah, got it.
So I have a travel hack, side note. We went to St. Thomas. We had a bunch of swim stuff. I put it in a box so I didn't have to carry it to the Boston Marathon. So we put it in a box and we shipped it back to LA. And that's where the girls' swim goggles are. All right. So anyway, back to tummy tucks, and you know, the difference of what a surgical result can be and what a non-invasive result can be is profound. But the problem is sometimes the cost is around the same, right? So you got to really figure out what matters most to you. Go to a place, go to a board certified plastic surgeon that can offer you perhaps the whole spectrum, right? I can offer you CoolSculpting. I don't have a CoolSculpting machine, but I have other things like Venus Legacy. I can tell you the pros and cons of everything. I'm going to lean you towards surgery most of the time because I feel like it's going to give you better results, and I'm all about giving people the best results possible. I get a lot of people that come in with complications from CoolSculpting. They can have shark bites, meaning that you can have an area of indentation, right? That's overdone, or it's just a focused area. Now, a lot of times when I do I end up doing tummy tucks on people that have CoolSculpting. I tried it, I did one, it didn't work. Well, CoolSculpting, you're gonna have to do at least 3 to 5 sessions to really make a difference. So a lot of people they expect results after the first session, and they're kind of disappointed. So, you know, don't do it if you want results after the first session. It's just not gonna happen. And then be realistic with what the results are going to be. I get a lot of people that spend a bunch of money in CoolSculpting and then end up seeing me anyway for tummy tuck. How frustrating is that? So, you know, that's just really because people, I don't like it when people waste money. I don't want to waste my money. I want to like value for my service. I want to go, this is what I want. I want it to fix the problem. You know, it's like get a plumber, fix a garbage disposal. You don't want to pay twice, right? So that's the way I look at it too. But you know, again, I spend a lot of time on my surgeries, so I'm not the least expensive. But again, you're investing in your body. It's not a car. You can't trade it in if you're not happy with the results. So you only get one body unless you believe in reincarnation. So that my philosophy is don't bargain shop for parachutes, don't bargain shop for plastic surgery. All right. Now, if you are interested in finding out more about minimally invasive treatments or tummy tuck procedure, or you want to get a specific quote for you, you can check out my website, drdanielbarrett.com. Go to virtual consultation. Fill out your information, upload a couple photos, and we'll get back to you. Okay, we can give you some estimates on what it might cost. I have another associate surgeon here, Dr. Yamin, who does amazing tummy tucks as well. His price point is a little bit less just because he's out in his first year of training. But I've personally worked with him on a lot of surgeries, and he's excellent, and he does very similar work to myself. Otherwise, I wouldn't have him here in the office. So we try to address some of the price discrepancies of my surgeries versus our associate surgeries. But again, he's not doing anything that isn't top-notch, amazing stuff. And I sometimes will supervise and make sure everything looks perfect, okay? Perfect. Just like that TikTok. Anyway. Well, all right, guys. So I'm going to answer your question. What's the average cost for a tummy tuck? You know, I off the top of my head, I don't pay too much attention to the pricing. It's based on timing. But, you know, there's things you got to consider. Do you need a hernia repaired? Do you have an extension that we need to go all the way back because you had massive weight loss? But it's anywhere from $25,000 to $35,000 in my hands. We do a lot less than that for Dr. Yamin. So it's anywhere from $12,000 to $15,000. And then it also depends whether we do liposuction, whatever. You know, we customize the operation based on the person. And sometimes we typically do liposuction with it, but if you're like super skinny and don't have any fat, then we don't need to do liposuction. So it could just be skin only, and then it would be less expensive. So the average cost for a tummy tuck varies. Okay, so it's anywhere from, I guess, $8,000, probably the least expensive you're gonna find it, all the way up to probably some people may charge like $50,000, which I think is crazy. We don't charge that much. And so Ariel asked about keloid scars. Can you still get a tummy tuck? Yes, you just need a really good surgeon who doesn't upset the skin edges, okay? And then does a multi-layer closure, and then does a lot of things for scar management afterwards, okay? Canted jaws, the mama kitty, I don't do that. But anyway, I'm gonna take your questions about tummy tuck, CoolSculpting, liposuction, Smitty 88, internal medicine. That's brutal, man. It's a very different field, but there is hope. There's other stuff out there. Concierge medicine, so you can spend more time with your patients. Any advice for lipo with the arms? You know, liposuction in the arms, it depends on how much skin laxity you have. I would suggest to do J plasma with it to kind of tighten the skin a little bit afterwards. CoolSculpting versus M-Sculpt. M-Sculpt is very different than CoolSculpting. CoolSculpting is cryotherapy on the adipose tissue. So it kills the adipose tissue. M-Sculpt stimulates your muscles, which supposedly reduces some fat, but it mainly tones the muscles, okay? So M-Sculpt is great if you want to really hyperstimulate your abdominal muscles, okay? Can you get a tummy tuck right after a C-section? Yes, you can, but I don't recommend to do that. I recommend to wait 6 months after a C-section so to let everything calm down, because you have a lot of hormones circulating in your body, and those hormones are very proactive, pro-inflammatory. They can actually cause a lot of scarring and so forth. So I don't recommend that. So we're gonna finish with a couple more questions about tummy tucks and liposuction or CoolSculpting, and then we're gonna end on this session. But again, if you have other questions, check out my YouTube page. I've got videos on it. Leave the questions, comments, and the feedback on the actual YouTube page. You can also go to my website, again, drdanielbarrett.com, virtual consultation. I've got some great stuff there. We can actually just shoot you information. We're not going to hunt you down, but you know, we have, I guess, we actually have 5 or 6 coordinators that can actually help you with this information. So again, a lot of the stuff is basically customized based on you, so we might ask you some questions about it. Be sure to follow me. Check out my YouTube page. I've got cool videos coming out. I put one out about a lipoma. I got taken down. Oh no, actually, lipoma's coming up this week, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So make sure you subscribe to my YouTube, and we'll keep the content coming. All right, a couple more questions. How long should you wait after weight loss to have tummy tuck? Well, Christy Stewart, that is mainly depends on, have you hit your goal? If you haven't hit your goal, but you can't lose any more weight and you're stuck, then let's do it. If you're still losing weight, wait till you lose more weight, because then it just gets easier for me to kind of take the rest of the skin. I didn't have filler in my jawline. It's just natural, okay? Yeah, so my recommendation is to get to your goal weight, but if you can't, let's just get something done, right? So Laura Rodriguez, thank you. And when can I work out again after tummy tuck? So I'll tell you what I do for my patients. Walking right away, okay? Walking right away, movement helps you heal, okay? Get rid of the stupid walkers, get rid of the stupid wheelchairs, get your ass out of bed and walk around 3 times a day. You will heal faster. Don't take narcotic pain medication. Get Exparel injected into the plication. Take CBD, take magnesium. You won't need the narcotic pain medication. That stuff will make you constipated. And if you've ever been constipated with a tummy tuck, it is not a good situation, okay? Walk around. 2 weeks, you can actually start doing exercise. 4 weeks, you can start to do some light kind of jogging. 6 weeks, you do heavy lifting again. I know, that's my regimen. A lot of doctors are different. Do what your doctor recommends, but that's what I suggest because I feel like, well, I know that movement and the strength training will help you heal afterwards. All right, you guys, that's it. Again, check out my website, Dr. Daniel Barrett, virtual consultation if you want more information about whether you're a good candidate for tummy tuck or not, and I will see you guys later. Thanks for watching.